Hello everyone, today a very interesting video awaits you. I would like to ask you to support this video by liking and subscribing to the channel. Enjoy watching everyone. The man is lying on the ground. There is a lot of blood around. Someone's hands are reaching out to help him. A fire is burning nearby. There is a fire in the house. 3 young girls flee for their lives. They didn't even have time to get dressed. A young man in a mask stands against the backdrop of a burning house. He turns to his opponent. The duel begins. A man in black clothes attacks a guy. Our hero retreats without weapons. Lee Yun rests his back against the wall. He is confused. There is nowhere to retreat further. His arms are extended forward, defending himself from his attacker. The young man begins to sob and becomes hysterical. He asks the masked man for mercy. The killer swings his sword in front of a large fire. He intends to kill our hero. His father stands in front of Lee Yun and takes the blow of the sword. A deep cut is visible on his torso, from which blood flows. The man is very similar to his son. He is stunned, realizing that this is the end of his story. Blood appeared from the corner of the lips. Dad falls into the arms of our hero. Lee Yun is very impressed and does not understand what is happening. The young boy becomes hysterical again while holding his dead father. The masked killer calmly watches this scene. The young man loses consciousness. A man in a mask checks his pulse. He thinks the guy died of fear. The attackers leave the burning house. Someone runs along the road, and someone escapes through the roof. Lee Yun lies with his father in the middle of a burning building. The fire is getting closer to them. The guy wakes up. There is surprise on his face. He tries to remember what happened to him. The little boy gets burned. The flames raging around him spread onto his sleeve and made him take a break from his thoughts. This is his father. He is dead. The fire was already very close to him. It seems that our hero remembers this man. People appear with buckets and water. They came to the rescue. Lee Yun has a severe headache. One of those who came running to help falls to the dead body. This is a former butler. Grandfather takes his owner in his arms and tries to stop the bleeding. He calls other arrivals for help. The young man faints. This time he does it on purpose, realizing that this is exactly what a coward should do. Finally, Lee Yun can be quiet. He drinks tea and calmly thinks about what happened. The child inside him is very angry. The boy was able to move through space, but ended up in the body of a loser and a coward. Our hero meditates while sitting on the bed. A greenish aura glows around him. The guy is trying to summon his fighting spirit. A portal appears in front of the young man, which glows with the same greenish light. A small hamster appears from this portal. The animal happily jumps onto its owner's bed. Lee Yun plays with the creature. He is upset that his fighting spirit was exposed as a defenseless mammal. Our hero is lying on the bed. He sees a book next to his pillow, left by his former incarnation. The young man opens the book, hoping to find a description of fighting techniques in it. But he gets very angry. Because it's just poetry. A joyful smile appears on Lee Yun's face. A teenager thinks that the hamster is the spirit of his former incarnation. Perhaps he still has a chance to become stronger. Our hero meditates, visualizing the image of the continent of fighting spirit. The young man is trying to attract a strong creature. No one appears on the bed. Lee Yun was unable to summon anyone. He looks upset. Now the young man visualizes strong fighting spirits. He hopes this will help summon a creature stronger than the hamster. The guy looks worried. He again failed to summon a new spirit. Li Yun packed his things into a bundle and is about to leave home. He has already opened the door and is standing on the threshold. Our hero freezes. A new idea comes to him. Perhaps taking a different approach will help. Now the youth represents earthly things. His new incarnation is from this place. The great sage, the Monkey King, appears. This spirit will be stronger than a simple mammal. The boy is happy. The new creature should help him become stronger and learn martial arts. Li Yun's fists clenched. The young master feels the will of the creature he managed to summon. Sun Wukong inhabits the body of our hero. The guy feels its power. Now he can become a master. The young man breaks the board with one blow. You can see the pleasure on his face. Our master's room is destroyed from training. The butler runs in. Someone came to the Li family's house. The boy went out with the servant to greet the guests. You can see the surprise on his face. A representative of the Go family and his retinue stand in front of the house. Our hero meets them on the threshold. Li Yun places a handkerchief on the guest's face. It looks like Go Ran is his father's killer. The visitor is very dissatisfied with this gesture from the owner of the house. The bodyguards of the person who came to mourn are ready for a fight. Our young master smiles and pretends that he did not recognize the night executioner. Both people are calm. They talk while sitting in the house. Go Ran invites the young owner to sell his property. Li Yun laughs at his guest's suggestion. The proposed amount is less than even 1 mine behind the house. The representative of the other family is angry. Everyone thinks that our hero is a coward. Go Ran wanted to settle this issue with the stupid boy himself. The guy makes a counter-offer. He wants to challenge the Go family representative. The stake is the property of the Li family. The cold-blooded killer leaves happy with the new deal. The butler cannot hold back his tears. He is sure that he will soon become a servant of the new master. Li Yun kneels before his father's coffin. He is preparing for a new challenge. There is a smile on the master's face. The new strong spirit of martial arts is already hard to contain. He's waiting for the fight. In the yard of the Go family, a man is calmly resting on a sun lounger in the company of 2 girls. The young beauty laughs. She thinks that young Master Li is a coward and will not come to the duel. Our hero suddenly appears and kicks down the door. He challenges Go Ran to battle. The fighter in dark clothes is calm. Ran knows that his combat level is much higher. Li Yun refuses. The master is determined. His fists are clenched in a fighting stance. The arrogant assassin summons his fighting spirit. This is a tiger. The man is pleased with the effect produced. Our guy hits the tiger right in the jaw. Drops of blood fly to the sides. The Go family representative strikes back at the young man's chest. The impact force is very large. Li Yun flies back several meters, landing head first on the asphalt. Go Ran, without even using all his strength, was able to take our hero down. But the young master was able to get up. Our master's fighting spirit uses warm currents of energy. The young man does not feel pain from the blow. The killer is surprised that the guy resisted his blow and was able to get up. A dangerous opponent is preparing to strike much harder this time. His tiger is ready to fight. The villain's morale hits our hero hard. Li Yun cannot repel such an onslaught. The young man lies defeated on the ground. A level 7 warrior's full force strike is quite powerful. Sun Wukong appears behind the guy. His healing power helps the young man rise. Suddenly, the Monkey King's paws grab Li Yun's head. It's like he's being electrocuted. There is a mixture of surprise and pain on his face. Master Li stood up to his full height. It seems that Go Ran's attack caused our hero's morale to rise. The man who took the life of the young master's father looks angry. He did not expect such a development of the situation. Realizing that he could embarrass himself, Go Ran gathers all his strength for the decisive blow. The fighters' fists meet. Both people don't want to lose. Our young man is trying to withstand the onslaught of the villain. The Go family representative is pleased with the effect produced. But he doesn't want to stop. He strikes the young master again. Li Yun manages to dodge. The only survivor of the Li family headbutts his opponent directly in the face. The power of the blow is such that the villain flies far to the side with such force that even the air is twisted into a spiral. Our hero stands over his defeated opponent. Go Ran lies face down on the ground. Li Yun claims his rights as the winner of the fight. Now Go's family cannot claim his property and owes the young man a large sum of money. The defeated fighter smiles. His family, having experienced such shame, will take revenge on our hero. The young master returned to his home. The butler talks to the young man, warning him of the danger coming from the Go family. Li Yun decides to remove all traitors and spies from his estate. He wants to start with his father's fourth wife. A young man finds himself in the yard where a girl lives. The guy is determined, his fists are clenched. The beauty meets her guest at the mirror. Our hero notes the beauty of the girl. The young stepmother kindly greets the embarrassed Yun. The guy hides his gaze. Li Yun firmly asks the girl how she spends her time. Delightful is especially struck by the boy's suspicion. Our master decides to check everything himself. He takes the surprised girl in his arms. Once on the table, the charming half-naked woman demands an explanation. A determined young man forces the girl onto the table. He intends to definitely check his suspicions. The father's wife turns out to be pregnant. Our hero is angry. After all, he knows that dad has been infertile for a long time. The beautiful woman laughs at such a suggestion. The boy is perplexed. She is pregnant, but from him. The doll is trying to calm down her guest. Li Yun is surprised. He clearly did not expect such a development. The irresistible maiden interprets his embarrassment in her own way. And getting angry, he tries to injure our hero with a hairpin. The young master easily parries this attack. The girl's jewelry shatters into pieces. Suddenly our boyfriend's mother appears in the doorway. After hearing the entire dialogue, she cries. Hugging the young man, the mother tells her son that everything he heard is true. The boy can't believe it. The woman who gave life communicates with the expectant mother. Li Yun can't understand what's going on. It is clear that the hero's mother has brain problems. The pregnant beauty laughs that he doesn't even remember this. The enraged master grabs the girl by the throat. He doesn't believe a single word she says. Pulling himself together, the young man leaves. The irresistible maiden frightenedly rubs her neck. The boy is really dangerous. The butler runs into the courtyard and hurries to tell the master an important message. The servant delivers a letter from the Hua family with the message that they will not support young Li Yun. Our hero, together with his lackey, hurries to his yard. After all, the Go family must know about the message sent. A person taking his first steps towards mastery watches his house burn. The offended family began to take revenge. Go-killers jump from the roof of a burning house with knives and swords in their hands. Servant Lee is cut in half. Blood splashes in all directions. The scoundrel in gray clothes does not spare anyone. The young master, along with his lackey, looks at the many corpses and severed body parts. The butler is horrified. He has no idea what to do now. But the young man gathers his will into a fist. The young talent decisively calls on his people to fight. He promises to avenge the dead. Those in service are inspired. Li Yun is happy. He is ready to lead soldiers into battle. A fight ensues. A young man knocks knives out of his opponent's hands with his baton. The Li family's minions strike the incoming assassins. The man in the gray suit flies back from the blow. Suddenly, Master Go appears behind our hero with a weapon in his hands. The young virtuoso does not see him yet. The guy from the attackers calls on his fighting spirit, a snake. This is an insidious and dangerous creature. The hero of our story parries the killer's saber attack with his club. He is calm, feeling his strength. Two fighters stand opposite each other in a circle of fire. Li Yun is calm. His opponent calls on fortitude. A masked man points a snake at our hero. He is determined. The young martial artist stops the beast by inserting his weapon into its mouth. A talented young man throws down his club. Snake venom, like acid, eats away at the handle. The master of the Go family does not allow Li Yun to come to his senses. He immediately attacks the young man with knives. Our hero stops the knives with his bare hands. His fighting spirit gives him strength. The young talent is unharmed. Only blood flows from small cuts on his hands. The killer is surprised by the level of our master. Young virtuoso Li has increased his level and, using the power of Sun Wukong, strikes back in the jaw. The insidious villain flies back, smashing the wall with his back. This is a definite victory. Li Yun stands over his defeated opponent. His people rejoice in victory. The aura of his spirit shines around the young man. The defeated minions of the Go family run away in fear. They have no chance against our hero. A talented and ambitious guy sincerely rejoices at the victory. Now no one will dare to offend the representatives of the Li family. Suddenly, the young man receives a strong blow in the back using a fighting technique from the old master. The young man flies back, struck, breaking the asphalt with his back. Young Li was defeated with one blow. This is the elder of the Go family. The gray-haired keeper of ancient traditions is calm and collected. People in dark suits are happy. They didn't expect the ancient master to join the fight. Hua Shunshu took our hero in her arms. She looks reproachfully at the elder. The old-timer laughs with his retinue. If he defeated a man, then he can definitely handle a girl. Having seen a lot in his time, the old-timer summons his fighting spirit and prepares to strike. He throws his palm forward, but the beauty repels the attack with one finger. This movement of the beautiful woman is enough to knock the spirit out of the sage. Blood sprayed from the mouth. The girl explains to the men that she came for her husband. She is confident and ready to fight. Representatives of the Go family leave in disgrace. They don't want to get involved with the Hua family either. Our hero thinks that this divine creature is his love. But the beauty did not come because of feelings. Li Yun thanks his savior and invites her inside the estate to drink tea and discuss what happened. Young Shunshu is determined. She walks ahead while the young master admires the pretty figure. While the young man is enjoying the lovely goddess, his wife offers to terminate the marriage contract. Our master is amazed by this proposal. This means not only the loss of his wife, but also the support of her family. The girl is calm. If he refuses, he can try to endure her techniques or die. The hero joyfully accepts the offer of the young warrior. The guy is confident in his abilities. The first blow to the chest with the palm causes the young man to spit blood out of his mouth. Li Yun passes this test. And although it was only the first, the master is ready to continue. Our hero concentrates and calls on his fighting spirit. The delightful lady is ready to continue. The beautiful wife deals the same blow, but much stronger. The young man steadfastly accepts this technique. Despite the support of his spirit, the young master can barely stand on his feet. But still he offers to complete the deal. For the last attempt, Hua Shenshu calls his assistant and uses magic. A portal appears in front of the guy's chest. Li Yun did not expect such a turn. The beauty doesn't want to beat her husband anymore. Instead, she will send her spirit directly into the head of the budding person. The white fox, our girl's creature, jumps straight into the portal. Through it, the spirit will enter the hero's subconscious. Masterly hides his essence inside, a little hamster. The boy is angry, because a weak animal is defenseless. Our hero is scared. If his spirit dies in the subconscious, then he will forever remain crazy. A bloodthirsty fox attacks a frightened mammal. She opens her toothy mouth. Suddenly the white beast gets hit with a baton. This spirit flies many meters to the side. Our hamster is happy with his unexpected rescue. This attack damaged Li Yun's fighting spirit. He holds a club, one end of which goes straight into the portal in our hero's chest. The help of our being does not end there. Sun Wukong puts his hand directly into the young man's subconscious. The Monkey King unceremoniously grabs the frightened fox and slams him on the wooden floor. Blood flows from the corners of Hua Shenshu's lips. She experiences the same pain as her magical animal. The guy rejoices at the victory. He withstood 3 blows from his companion and now offers her his terms. The young man gives his wife the marriage contract and agrees to terminate it. There is a smile on his face. The young beauty takes the agreement. She is at a loss. Why does this person do this even though he won the argument? Our hero calmly explains that a real man should rely on himself, and not exist at the expense of another family. A young girl tries to understand how her husband figured out the secret of her third strike. But he calmly leaves the room. Already in another room, Li Yun orders the servant Li Si to serve the guest so that she can heal her wounds. Hua Shenshu appears in the doorway. She has important news for Mr. Li. His father's 4th wife was about to give birth. The man is indignant. His fists are clenched and his posture is full of determination. He must find out whose child it is or prevent the birth. Our hero catches up with his stepmother. If the child is not from Li Yun, he cannot be allowed to appropriate the estate in the future by changing his family. The young master asks who the child's father is. The young mother laughs. She doesn't want to reveal this secret. Our master cannot allow this. He is determined. While the girl feels careless. Mr. Li concentrates all his strength in his fist and wants to hit the girl in the stomach. Either she will tell the truth, or there will be no child. Mommy fell to the ground in surprise. She is scared that the young man could do this. The beautiful Shenshu stops her husband. The girl seems to want to say something. Father's fourth wife is crying. She kept the grudge to herself for a long time. Her husband was indeed barren. Our heroes are skeptical. They do not believe in the sincerity of the expectant mother. A frightened woman shows a magic pill that enabled her husband to have numerous offspring. Li Yun is a little puzzled. This medicine has the strength of the tiger and the wolf. But only one person can do it. This is the creator of the tiger dragon. Only from him can you find out the truth about the pill. But he has a bad character. Our hero tries to look confident in front of his wife. But he still worries. The young master stands on Tiger Dragon Mountain. With a smile, he greets the people standing at the foot of the stairs. The guards act arrogantly. They represent the interests of the creator and ask ours about the reason for his coming. The young guy respectfully greets these people and says that he came to the master on a personal issue. In response, the servants only laugh. They consider the young man to be the outcast of the Li family and that he came to ask for help from their master. A smart boy shows them a gold bar and offers it for passage to the mountain. Seeing the precious metal, the servants, hypnotized, decided that this was their lucky moment of luck and that they could make good money. The young master, with a powerful blow of the 8th level of the realm of an ordinary soul, sends impudent people on a long flight. Another person appears behind our hero. This old man looks calm and confident. Li Yun turns around sharply and, ready to attack, asks who this gray-haired sage is. A man endowed with the experience of old age invites the youth to the mountain, to the palace of the dragon creator. Having climbed the mountain, our hero approaches a gentleman who is meditating on a stone in the courtyard. The castle owner asks why the young lord of the Li family visited his mountain. The guy says that he came to thank the great master for the pill that was given to his father. The blue-haired lord laughs. He remembers how he gave it to the head of the Li family, the father of our hero. Our hero thanks the creator and takes the opportunity to ask for help in the fight against the Go family. The owner of the mountain is considering an interesting proposal. After all, after absorbing the Li family, the Go will become stronger and may come to the Gu family. Li Yun is happy to see that the creator understands him. By uniting, together they will be able to completely deal with the common enemy. Suddenly, the assistant to the blue-headed ruler presents a knife to the boy's throat. Our hero is at a loss. The owner of Dragon Mountain doubts that such a young boy is worthy to fight alongside the old master. The young man accepts this argument and prepares to demonstrate his capabilities. The young man hits the power sage and the servant of the Gu family with his palm. Their palms meet, releasing enormous impact energy. Li Yun is tense. It was as if he had met a concrete wall. The gray-haired fighter turned out to be a strong opponent. The creator of dragons calmly watches the fight. Our guy summons his fighting spirit. Sun Wukong appears and raises the young master's fighting level. Each new fight only makes him stronger. The young man uses his new abilities and throws his opponent back with a powerful blow. Master Gu is surprised by the speed of Li Yun's cultivation, and thanks the guest for his understanding and respect. Our hero promises to surprise him even more in a real battle and rejoices, anticipating victory over his hated family. The young talent leaves the palace of the creator of the Tiger Dragon, finally promising that he himself will inform the Gu family about the new agreement. Li Yun arrived at the Gu house and stood in front of the family's servants and greeted them. Our master arrived at the head of the family to convey his proposal. The young man is respectful, calm and collected. The butler objects to this meeting. He believes that a loser with a hamster spirit is not worthy of meeting the clan elder. In response to the young man's objections, the Gu family courtier sets one of the servants against Li Yun. The servant looks confident. He summons the wolf, his fighting spirit. It seems to him that a fight with a loser will not be difficult. Suddenly, the Monkey King, the spirit of young Master Li, appears and dispatches the wolf without much difficulty. Our hero lands a direct blow to the arrogant guy's jaw. He has blood flying out of his mouth. The arrogant fighter flies back with such force that he slams his back into the wall of the house. Everyone is very surprised. The Gu family's butler summons his fighting spirit, the dragon. Now our guy is worthy of the honor of fighting a strong opponent. Many portals appear around Li Yun, from which the dragon's paws can be seen. The young man is scared. He didn't expect such magic. Each such paw from each portal strikes the young master. Dozens of painful techniques act simultaneously. The young man is not smitten. He withstands this onslaught. Now it's his turn to show what the new master of the Li family can do. Our hero concentrates his will and takes a fighting stance. He won't give up victory so easily. The servant of the greenhouse feels that he has an advantage over a youth with the 9th level of the ordinary soul realm. Li Yun summons the power of his fighting spirit. Sun Wukong is calm with his owner. They are ready to fight. Butler Gu hits our guy in the chest. But the young man calmly blocks this attack. In turn, Master Li punches his opponent in the chest. It is such that the shock wave diverges in circles to the sides. The master of the Gu clan meets the fate of his junior servant. He is slammed into the wall and can no longer fight. Our hero won another victory. Now he is worthy to meet the head of the Green clan. Another Gu servant appears in the doorway. He tells young Li Yun that the owner of the house is ready to meet him. Meanwhile, at the Go family estate, the head of the clan meets with his elder. A serious conversation awaits them. The head of Go looks calm. He is confident that some weak boy will not be able to stop his plans to absorb the Li family. The only thing that worries the owner of the house is Hua Shunshu. She helped Li Yun, and the head of her family may feel the same way. Another clan member joins the conversation. He is sure that the Hua family will not help the young master. He bribed the manager of the Li estate and knows that the beauty Shunshu acted without the approval of her clan. The elder is at a loss as to why she came to our hero then. Does the young beauty really have feelings for Li Yun? But the head of the Go clan is sure that the wise family will not quarrel with him because of some stupid thing. And then the young master will be like a bird in a cage. And the same thing will eventually happen to him. Meanwhile, at the young hero's estate, the beautiful Hua Shunshu was about to leave. The head of the clan urgently called her. Li Yun prepared a gift for his wife. The girl opened the box and looked inside. Nothing special, but the main thing is attention. Our beauty enjoys such care from a man. She rejoices and leaves in a good mood. Hiding behind a tree, the spy watches as the young lady leaves our hero's family home. Suddenly, a silhouette appears behind this villain. The rascal is very excited. No one should be allowed to reveal his secret. The cunning spy grabs a knife and is ready to deal with the sudden visitor. He turns around quickly to strike. The owner of the house grabs him. Li Yun is very angry. He will not allow anyone to spy on his territory. The young master easily throws the scoundrel aside with one hand, conveying a warning to his masters that spies will not be tolerated in the Li clan's house. After this, already in the room, his butler comes to our hero with important news that an attack is being prepared on the estate. The young man is ready for such a development of the situation. He goes out into the courtyard and calls all his servants. Our hero sees a crowd of Go clan minions gathered around his house and on the roof. Everyone came with weapons. Li Yun commands his squad of warriors to attack. He is determined to retake his home from the attackers. A crowd of people, some wearing masks and others without, rushed at each other with weapons in their hands. A young fighter with a baton boldly scatters the crowd of attackers. His strength is great, and his determination is enough for the whole family. The elder of the great house of Go joins the battle. He summons his fighting spirit, a huge polar bear. Our hero manages to dodge the attack of a serious enemy. The guy jumps to the side and takes a defensive stance. The elder is not going to repeat this mistake. Now his blow will be fast and strong. The young man will no longer be able to evade. Suddenly, Gu Biao appears in front of the young master. The head of the clan in a green robe is ready to keep his promise. Elder Go is surprised and annoyed by the appearance of such support for our hero. He threatens death if the man in the green robe does not retreat. Another master of the Go house appears with his servants. They are determined to kill anyone who gets in their way. The fighters of the great house of Gu are not going to retreat. It's a matter of honor. In addition, strengthening another clan in the future may bring more complications. The head of the hostile Go family is not pleased that the young man has gained such powerful support. Now he himself will have to enter the battle. The great master jumps from the roof of the house right into the middle of the courtyard. Aware of his strength, he is calm. Suddenly someone appears behind the mighty fighter. This confuses the head of the clan. The red dragon deals a powerful blow to the villain. Waves of magic and shock waves spread out everywhere, like ripples on water. The old warrior is thrown onto the stone platform of the courtyard of our young master's estate. The head of the Go family struggles to his feet. He cannot understand who this person is who was able to inflict such a powerful blow. This is the creator of the tiger dragon. He smiles that the owner of the Go house could not recognize him. The red dragon is at the ready behind the lord. The creator explains to the surprised master that Mr. Li promised him half of the Go family's property. In that case, you will have to die, says the ruler of the family and calls on his spirit, a two-headed white tiger. This unusual creature strikes the dragon with ice magic. The creator is angry, trying to resist the strongest magic. A ferocious tiger attacks a flying serpent while it is chained. Both toothy mouths are ready to bite the ice along with the creation contained inside. The dragon melts the ice with his magic. It seems that just one angry look can melt the cold shackles. The red lizard hits the snow-white tiger with its fiery tail. The two-headed creature writhes in pain. The head of the Go family calmly accepts the enemy's attack. Since the creator decided to die, then so be it. The great master concentrates all his power. He is ready to use the most dangerous technique in his arsenal. Elder Go flies off the ground. The dangerous tiger is greatly increasing in size. It looks like the great tiger dragon creator will also have to use all his strength. Mentally he prepares for the most important fight. Tiger opposite dragon. Both creatures have powerful magic. Both creatures are ready to tear each other apart. Suddenly another toothy white monster appears. This is the magic of splitting. The red dragon cannot be intimidated by numbers. He glares into the eyes of his enemies and attacks using fireballs. The flying kite's magic hits both tigers. The third ball rushes towards their owner. But one of the snow creatures uses his ice magic and extinguishes the tiger dragon's flame. The tiger leaps upward with its powerful paws, ready to strike back. The lizard releases a powerful stream of magical flame from its huge mouth. Even hell is not as hot as the path of this dangerous orange tail. The tiger was ready for this and, with the help of the forces of cold, dispels the fire and jumps on the dragon. Two huge toothy jaws simultaneously grab the flying beast by the throat. The red monster is in extreme agony. The head of the Go clan is pleased with himself. He anticipates victory and says farewell words to his doomed opponent. But the creator is not so simple. His combat experience is much greater than that of the elder. The owner of Dragon Mountain is very angry. The great warrior himself can control the element of fire. He collects a magical sphere of fire. Mr. Go does not expect such a turn. The strongest flames strike the clan master and his fighting spirit. Satan himself would envy such heat. The owner of the ancient clan flies far back, and fiery whirlwinds, along with stones and wind, circle around him. Master Go slams into the wall with such force that it breaks the stones into small pieces. The impact causes the wall to collapse and the head of the Grey Robes clan is buried under boulders. Noise and dust spread far around. The hand of the unlucky master rises from under the rubble. But he is not ready to accept defeat. The way of the Go family has existed for hundreds of years, and the mighty warrior would never give up victory to his opponent. But the creator of the red kite is determined. He takes his saber, giving his last salute to the old warrior. Cold steel pierces the back of a strong man and the owner of a once great family. This is the end of the Go clan. After the battle, the young Lord Li Yun rests on the steps of his palace. He is tired, but his family is avenged. The creator approaches our hero in a relaxed manner. He smiles. The powerful family ceased to exist. The young master is also pleased. After all, it was his efforts that made this game possible. Two comrades laugh and encourage each other with warm words. Now their life will be completely different. The blue-haired sage reminds the guy about the promise to receive part of the Go family's property. And his new friend is happy to keep his word. But the dragon's creator doesn't know what to do with this part of his new company. After all, he doesn't really know how to manage. Li Yun advises his friend to sell the property to the Gu family. They may be willing to pay a good price. Meanwhile, the Grand Master of the Green Robe clan is meditating in his castle. A joyful servant appears in the doorway of the room. He is in a hurry to convey the good news to the owner. The Go family is over. Now their clan will become the most powerful force in the city. The servant finds it difficult to contain his emotions. But the head of the Gu clan is careful. He understands that unconsidered steps now could deprive his family of the advantage they have received. The green-robed master gives the order to collect and prepare as much silver as possible. He will buy up all the property of the defeated clan. And then his family will become the strongest in the city. Unable to restrain his joyful emotions, the lord of this house breaks his statue with one strong blow. At the same time, our hero is in thought at home. And although the butler is glad that the Li clan survived and became stronger, the young master is worried about the future. The servant is slightly surprised. After all, we need to rejoice at this outcome of events. But Li Yun calmly approaches the table and takes the writing utensils. A young man writes a letter to his beloved asking for help in finding two masters of the Holy Soul realm of at least the first level. The owner's assistant is very surprised. For their money, a family can hire a fighter of at least level 5 in the city. But the young lord of the estate calmly explains to his butler that the Gu family should not know about this. You should prepare for possible difficulties in advance. The old servant is very pleased with his master's foresight. He still has a lot to learn from the young master. In the meantime, our hero came to Li Jieshen's yard. Li Yun wants to talk to one of the elders of his clan. The young master offers a generous payment to the warrior if he can move to the realm of the Holy Soul. The fighter is grateful to the gentleman for his generosity, but wonders what he is owed for. He has not yet made any contribution to the development of the family. Master Li explains to Jia that he is ready to motivate the elder to perform feats for the glory of the clan in the future. The young warrior thanks Li Yun and swears allegiance to him with all his heart. He will do everything necessary to become a worthy member of the family. After this conversation, our hero can finally rest. He collapses into his pastel, anticipating a long and sweet sleep. A knock on the door of his chambers makes the gentleman rise. This is Li Yinan, our master's mother. A mentally ill girl, unaware of the hardships her family has endured, blithely asks her son to tie her pigtails. Li Yun happily agrees to help his unexpected guest. Such an innocent request only brings joy to his face. Mom is very happy about the help. She comes very close to the owner of the house while he is sitting on his bed. A young man braids the beauty's hair, pondering his situation and his mother's illness. She's so carefree. She doesn't care about anything. Mr. Li is a little embarrassed by such proximity to a warm female body. Suddenly our beauty stops her musical outpourings. She had a new desire for her son. Mom lifts her blouse and asks the young man to scratch her back. Our hero is discouraged by this innocent request. But the girl, not understanding the guy's condition, takes his hand herself. From such persistence the young man falls into a slight stupor. The young lady runs her son's palm along the velvet skin of her back, showing exactly where to scratch. The girl is happy. And our hero is very confused. Such closeness of a beauty greatly worries the guy. Finally, Li Yun fulfilled all of his mother's requests. Excitedly asks what else he can do. Li Yining is very satisfied. Now she feels good. And our hero breathes a sigh of relief. Now you can send the girl for a walk in the yard, and you yourself can finally lie down and rest. Mom runs out into the street with her arms spread wide, catching the oncoming breeze with her chest and enjoying life. And the young master, sitting on the edge of the bed, wondered why his mother was so attached to him, and he had so few impressions of her. At the same time, the head of the Gu clan gathered the family elders at the table in his estate. The owner of the house is happy with the current situation. He plans to buy up the property of the defeated clan and make his family the strongest in the city. The assistant is forced to deliver bad news. He is excited, but is obliged to convey the truth. Young master and elder Gu says that according to his information, the master of the Li family is also planning to buy out the companies from the Tiger Dragon creator. The head of the House of Green Robes becomes furious. This young man should be glad that his family was not destroyed and sit quietly and below the grass. The wise gentleman pulls himself together and orders Master Gu Biao to deliver an invitation to the Li family to an evening banquet. The young clan elder guesses what his master is up to and shows his thoughts with a characteristic gesture. The head of the clan laughs. This evening should be the last in the life of this impudent young man Li Yun. In the evening, our hero comes by invitation to a party at the House of Green Robes. There is music, fun and dancing all around. Suddenly a lovely young girl grabs the young man's hand. The guy was dumbfounded from surprise. But the beauty does not wish him anything bad. She simply invites the young master to a private room with the head of the Gu clan. Li Yun pushes aside the curtain blocking the way and blithely enters the room, where a luxurious table has already been set. The great master of the Gu estate greets the young heir of the Li family standing and invites him to sit down at the table. Our hero will have to show all his acting skills in order not to give away his plans and understand for himself what they want from him. The young man drinks a glass of strong drink and begins to complain about how much money the creator wants for his newly acquired property. Continuing to drink, the young master becomes increasingly depressed by the greed of the old master of the Dragon Mountain. The head of the Gu clan is a little discouraged by this news. How much will he have to pay the old scoundrel to buy the Go family's companies from him? It seems Li Yun is telling the truth, because drunk people don't know how to lie. This means that the real obstacle to the owner of the house on the path of power is not the young master, but the creator. Our hero continues to add fuel to the fire. He informs the head of the Gu clan that the old senile man with the flying dragon will sell his share for 1,300,000 taels. And, as if by the way, Li Yun continues to pour himself a drink, as if showing the veracity of his words. The wise master of the House of Green Robes thought about what the young man said. He still doesn't know what the Li family is up to. Meanwhile, our guy got completely drunk and lost control of himself. Further conversation with him lost all meaning. The young master grabs a girl passing by the sleeve. He had already completely lost control of the situation. Li Yun begins to ask the beauty whether it is too expensive to ask 1,300,000 for part of the property of the Go courtyard. And the next second, hiccuping, he falls face first right into the chest of the young darling. The young lady is angry at such impudent behavior of the young man. She crosses her arms over her chest and turns away, showing her attitude to what is happening. But the owner of the house orders her to take the guest home. The girl is surprised, but cannot disobey her master. And Master Gu himself ponders Li Yun's words. A person so drunk is incapable of lying. This means you should expect a blow from the other side. The great warrior hits the table with his fist. He miscalculated, mistaking the stupid boy for a strong opponent. He won't make this mistake again. Our hero, barely dragging his feet on the ground and leaning on the shoulder of a fragile girl, has already approached the doors of his estate. The butler who opened the door was surprised by what he saw. He never expected his master to return half dead. The servant took the owner of the house and began to call the doctors for help. And Li Yun himself is closely monitoring the departing servant of the Gu family. As soon as the girl disappeared, the young master himself stood up and, as if nothing had happened, began to laugh at what was happening. He managed to deceive the head of the green-robed sea otter. The young man went to his room, humming a pleasant tune and leaving the butler completely confused. Opening the door to his chambers, the guy finds his crazy mother completely naked and sitting in his bathtub. The unexpected sight turns his eyes into two huge saucers. Li Yun doesn't understand what to do. A young girl, hearing that someone has entered, turns around without opening her eyes and calls our hero by name. The young man checks if everything is okay with his mother. Maybe she's just sleeping and doesn't know what she's doing. But the mentally ill woman hugs the guy by the neck. Looks like the girl needs help. The master of the Li clan does not know how to behave. His mom rises to her feet, revealing her beautiful young body. This happens so abruptly that the guy does not have time to react. In a hurry, he closes his eyes and tries to isolate himself from the difficult situation. If Li could, he would fall through the floor right now. And suddenly an incomprehensible fact begins to dawn on him. His mother has a small fluffy tail just below her back. Li Yun continues to be surprised because long bunny ears appear on the girl's head. The young master is perplexed how his sick mother was able to become a master of the Holy Soul realm, and even raise a nanny beast. Our hero's fighting spirit is as surprised as his master. He can't even imagine how strong Nian Shou can be. It seems the lady is waking up. She tries to open her eyes and seems to shake off some kind of numbness. The girl cannot understand why she is here and shamefully covers her bare chest with her hand. Suddenly my mother begins to feel a severe headache. The beauty grabs her hair and tries to contain her feelings. Out of powerlessness, the owner's mother falls into Li Yun's arms. Exhausted and weakened, she needs the support of a strong man. At this very moment, our hero's wife, the lovely Hua Shu, enters the room. The guy doesn't know where to go. The girl is annoyed by her husband's behavior. How can you cuddle with your naked mother in the bathroom? Young Shu separates Li Yun from his mother. Her face tries to be impartial. After all, just recently she herself wanted to end the marriage. The woman from the Hua family puts the mentally ill girl to bed. And the young master is trying to justify his position. The lovely wife is not interested in the young man's excuses. She had come to introduce him to the Saint Soul Realm masters he was looking for. Two people appear at the door. The girl Hua Yun is a first-level master and the man Tian Zhao is a second-level master. The owner of the estate invites warriors to live in his house and train, increasing their combat level. The guests are somewhat confused. They consider the owner's proposal. And they try to find a catch in his words. After all, he has his own martial artists. But Li Yun reassures people by giving them generous salaries in advance. Each envelope contains a tidy sum of money. Master Yun is surprised and very pleased. For the first time in her life, she meets a gentleman who pays in advance. Both recruits swear allegiance to the new lord. In the future, they will be able to become Master Li's decisive trump cards. Satisfied that she was able to help, Mrs. Shu prepares to leave. It is clear that she is sincerely happy to support her husband. Li Yun is embarrassed and wants to see the girl off. She is still his wife, and besides, she helped him. At the end of the day, she's just a beautiful woman. But the young beauty stops the unlucky guy. He still needs to rest and gain strength. Hua Shu cannot hide her concern for the man. And our hero seems to have the warmest feelings for this girl. She seems to like him a lot. The next day, an auction begins for the dragon maker to sell the newly acquired property of the Go family. Even Mr. Pao Zhou, the owner of the Warriors' Hall, is present in the hall. It looks like he doesn't mind improving his position in the city either. Master Li is somewhat surprised by such a stir around the sale of Go clan companies. There are so many people who want to profit. The head of the Gu clan is upset by this state of affairs. It seems that the young guy Yun did not deceive him and the owner of the green robe will have to fork out. The creator of the Tiger Dragon, a great martial artist, appears on the stage. He is very glad that so many people came to his auction. The owner of Dragon Mountain takes the first scroll with the deed to the silver mine, which is located 12 miles from the city. The blue-haired old man shows everyone present a certificate confirming ownership of the mine. Pao Zhou offers 120,000 taels. A wise master wants to get a good deal. The head of the Gu clan waits. According to the boy's statement, the creator will not give away the mine so cheaply. The master of green robes decides to see how the situation will develop further. The owner of the Dragon Mountain looks at our hero. Li Yun told him that the master of the Gu family would give a good price. But nothing is happening yet. Our hero raises the price to 350,000 taels. The guy looks confident. The master of the greenhouse is a little dumbfounded, but the young man warned him that the creator would not give up the property he obtained in battle. The head of the Gu clan began to think. Isn't it too expensive to buy a mine for 350,000? The mine is not worth the money. But the decision has been made. And the gentleman raises the price by one tael, realizing that no one in this room, including Master Yun himself, would raise the price. The owner of the warrior hall is a little confused about what is happening. And why is the green robe family buying this property at such a high price? Li Yun calms down Pao Zhou, who is worried about what is happening. After all, this is not the only lot at today's auction. The owner of the event hits the table with a hammer, which closes the sale of this lot. Tiger Dragon creator hands over the ownership documents of the silver mine to the Gu clan master. The gentleman in the green suit is very pleased. Just like our hero. After all, the head of the green-robed family never realized that he had fallen into a trap set by the young hero. The owner of Dragon Mountain puts the next lot up for sale. This is an iron mine that is located within the city. Pao Zhou immediately offers 350,001 tael for him. Apparently he really needs this mine. The head of the Gu family is trying to find out from the young man how much the creator of the Red Dragon is actually going to sell this lot for. The great master's face was distorted with terrible surprise. The young man named the figure as 800,000 taels. The young man pretends to be embarrassed. He apologizes to the elder of the rival clan, but this is the price that the creator named. Li Yun names the price he announced. Master Gu thought about it. The figure is quite large, but he knows how much the owner of the dragon will actually sell the item for. Satisfied, the Tiger Dragon Master asks if anyone would like to bid more. There is joy on his face. After all, whoever takes the lot will have a good advantage. There is bewildered talk in the hall. People think that young Master Li is crazy for spending so much money. And if someone offers more, he will be a real idiot. The head of the Gu clan makes up his mind and names the price at 800,001 tael. The cost is high, but the sage wants to strengthen his family and does not want to give the lot to others. A hammer hits the table. The mine was sold to the master of the green robes. Nobody else wanted to offer their price. Li Yun is focused. The bidding is not over yet. Although he has already managed to force the Gu family to pay more than 1 million for 2 weak mines, he needs to be very careful in the future. The Dragon Maker is offering the third and final item in this auction. This is a retail store in the city center. A man's hand appears behind our hero's back. The man is persistent. The young master of the Li clan carefully considers the situation. You need to put the squeeze on the old man, but not make a mistake. The head of the Gu clan asks a young comrade how much the creator plans to sell the last lot for. There is no longer surprise on his face. This is fear. The guy mentioned the figure as 1 million taels. Our hero explains to his new friend that this time it was not the creator who set the price. The Li family has their own plans for this shop. The gentleman of green robes is furious. It turns out that the young man had been planning all this time to take away this outlet from the Gu family. Li Yun apologizes, but he needs to take care of his own family. This is his duty and the young man could not do otherwise. The old master in the green suit thought seriously. It's just a small shop, but it's located in the city center. The young master can benefit greatly from it in the future. Our hero sees the indecision of the head of Gu. He decides to push the old master to make the solution the guy needs. Li Yun names the price at 1 million taels. At the same time, adding that he would not allow anyone to take this lot away from his family. The spectators in the hall do not bargain at all. They turned into mere observers. No one in their right mind would pay that much money for fairly mediocre companies. Without hiding his pleasure, the creator of the Tiger Dragon asks if anyone else is ready to offer their price. Or the shop will go to the Li clan. Our hero is very nervous. The old man still has doubts. If the master of green robes does not outbid the price, the young man's entire plan will fail. The wise master of the Gu clan finally makes up his mind and raises the price by one tael. His face is distorted with pain, but he is obliged to take care of strengthening his family and weakening others. A slight smile appears on the young master's tense face. His dangerous game was played out 100%. All bidders are very upset. They came to the auction in vain. All lots went to the Gu clan. And the old master was pleased with his acquisitions. It seems to him that he took the lots at the minimum price for which the creator was ready to sell his possessions. The blue-headed old man is unusually inspired. He managed to sell all the acquired property at greatly inflated prices. And all thanks to this young man. Li Yun also does not hide his pleasure. After all, he managed to outwit the head of the clan and force him to greatly overpay for the lots. The guy reminds the creator of their agreement. That the Dragon Master will give the young master 20% of the proceeds for helping him sell the companies. Our hero is looking for one of the chests filled with taels. It contains exactly Li's share of these trades. The creator of the Tiger Dragon is furious at the impudence of the young man. It seems like he's not going to give the guy the money. Li Yun explains to his friend that this is their joint venture, and if the head of the Gu clan finds out that everything was a setup, his comrades will have a strong enemy. The owner of the Dragon Mountain smiles. The young man will not dare to tell the truth. Because then the Li family will be under threat. To which our hero objects. His clan will indeed be in danger, but much more serious problems await the creator. After all, the owner of the Warriors' Hall can also find out about the fictitious bidding. The creator feverishly considers his options. The old blue-haired master has no choice but to agree. One way or another, the remaining 80% is still much more than he could have gotten without the insightful young man. Li Yun is very happy with how everything turned out. With this kind of starting capital, the revival of the Li family is not far off. Already in the courtyard of their house, the young master's servants are surprised and glad that their master has brought with him. The young master orders his butler to deposit all the money into the family treasury. The old servant proudly accepts the treasure. He will be able to save his money safely. Li Yun stops the foolish grandfather. Money should work and make a profit, and not lie like a stone in a chest. And the guy suggests starting with Yehunyuan. The young man is a little embarrassed, because his offer to invest in a brothel is a little unusual. And so our hero arrives at the place he was going to visit. The huge building is filled with many ladies of the fair sex. The owner of the establishment politely approaches the young ruler of the Li clan. Her duty is to greet guests. Moreover, those who are ready to spend good money. The guy doesn't stand on ceremony. He wants to call all the available girls in the establishment. Our hero is happy. There are so many of them and one is more beautiful than the other. He is a little sorry that they had to become courtesans. The young lord of the clan decides to take them all away that night. Girls don't mind this kind of attention at all. After all, it's their job. Only the owner of the establishment is very surprised by the choice of the young man. Not everyone can afford so many girls at one time. Li Yun quickly puts her in her place. He has enough cash. The lady quickly changes her expression. Her clients should always be happy. Already in a separate room, the beauties approach our master, seducing him with their seductive forms along the way. The young ruler abruptly stops the beautiful maidens. That's not really what he came here for. The owner of the Li estate asks the girls about their life and work. The guy is trying to look confident. This matter is too important for him. The young women immediately begin to cry and lament that everyone is offending them, and the owner of the establishment takes almost all the profit for herself. Li Yun tries to calm down the upset girls. And for this he has an interesting proposal. A man wants to steal the receipts of young maidens and free them. The beauties are surprised and grateful for such altruism. And they warn that the receipts are kept in the owner's box. The young master laughs at the girls' warnings. Don't they really want freedom? The young virgins fall to their knees and thank the guy for his intention to save them. They did not want to offend the gentleman in any way. All the beauties as one bow to our hero. They are trying to make amends for daring to doubt Li Yun's thoughts. But the girls don't know what to do if they become free. After all, they were taken into slavery from childhood and they don't know how to do anything other than please men. Mr. Li offers them the protection of his family and the opportunity to work under his protection. The young master adds 2 more conditions. There are no receipts for slavery and only clients pay him commissions. All earnings remain with the young persons. Young ladies can't believe their ears. They could not imagine that someone would make them such a generous offer. And when the beauties realize how lucky they are, they immediately rush to the young man with joy and gratitude. It will be a win-win deal. And now the beautiful maidens will be grateful and give the young head of the Li clan pleasure that he has never received before. After some time, all kissed, our hero enters some dark room. He barely managed to escape from the hot embrace. This seems to be the master's bedroom of the Yehunyuan house. The young master is looking for a box with receipts according to which young girls gave themselves into slavery. The lady is sleeping, holding the treasured box tightly in her hands. This is probably what the hero of our story is looking for here. The hostess is sleeping very soundly. The young master of the Li family easily pulls out the box of documents from her hands. But suddenly a man appears behind Li Yun. It looks like this is the sleeping girl's lover. He is also a level 8 ordinary soul realm master. Our hero smiles. He didn't even think about hiding. And he was ready for a surprise attack. Unusually quickly, the young master swings his fist, aiming straight for the head of his unexpected opponent. The night watchman doesn't even have time to react. Young Master Yun's speed is amazing. His fist hits straight into the jaw. The boy grabs his opponent, holding the surprised man from behind. The young man is pleased with his strength and the effect produced. A long magical club appears behind the fighting men. This is the fighting spirit of the lover of the owner of this establishment. A club, glowing with a magical halo, swings over our hero's head. She has almost reached her goal. But then Sun Wukong appears and intercepts the stick. The Monkey King, as always, saves the young master's life. Without giving time to think, Li Yun's powerful assistant deals a fatal blow to the suddenly appearing guest with his own magical artifact. The young master looks at the bloody body in surprise. Apparently even our guy didn't expect this. The young man's gaze moves to the empty bed. In the confusion of the fight, he completely forgot about the mistress of the house. Looking out the window, our hero sees a woman running down the street away from her house as fast as she can. Li Yun looks out the window, not knowing what to do. The fighting spirit that appeared behind him must show his master a couple more tricks. Sun Wukong pushes the young man's hand straight out the window. There is a smile on his face. It looks like the spirit is up to something and isn't worried at all. The young master of the Li estate falls into an airy cloud, soft as a feather bed. Having encountered such an obstacle, it is impossible to harm yourself. Our hero rises to his feet, standing on a small airy island. This is the legendary magic of Sun Yukon. Using a new technique, Li Yun quickly catches up with the unlucky woman. The fear on her face suggests that her attempt to escape was unsuccessful. The hostess of the night establishment falls to her knees in front of the young gentleman. She asks for mercy and is ready to give up the box with the slave's receipts. Our hero is on guard. If he lets her live, the woman might tell everything to the Gu family. And then our guy will have more serious problems. Unexpectedly, an elderly girl offers herself to the young man as payment for the life he left behind. The young man is confused. He doesn't like this woman at all. And he doesn't need such a fee. Li Yun turns his back to the girl. But our heroine uses this opportunity differently. She pulled out a knife. An embittered woman attacks our hero with a bladed weapon. Another second and his life will end. The young master calmly intercepts the hand of the girl with the weapon. Now he will not be tormented by pangs of conscience. The young master of the Li clan moves away from this street. A bloody brothel owner with a knife in her back is left lying on the road. Already at home, Li Yun tells his butler his plan to organize a brothel owned by their family. The servant is very happy about the emerging prospects. The young master begins to give orders on how to organize the first evening in order to attract visitors. For example, girls can throw one flower at a time into the crowd, and whoever catches it will get the right to one night with the beauty for free. The master's servant wants to get to work, but Li Yun stops him. The young master has another assignment for a trusted person. Our hero is very inspired. If you manage to do this with the girl's receipts, then why not do it with the blacksmith's receipts? The butler is very scared. This is a very dangerous idea. The arms business is the most profitable niche on the continent. Li Yun calms down his subordinate. There is always a way out of any difficult situation. And it looks like our hero has an idea. The butler says that the daughters of the blacksmith manager, Master Wu, are being held hostage outside the warriors' hall. Then the young man asks the servant to arrange a meeting with Mr. Wu. The butler, understanding what they want from him, wants to organize a meeting in the most luxurious restaurant. But the young man quickly stops him. It is necessary to meet with the head of the blacksmiths in the quietest place, where there will be fewer ears. After all, Master Wu is under the control of the warrior hall. Dark deep night. The light is on in the small house of a modest worker. It's quiet and peaceful around. The door opens imperceptibly and a man in work clothes looks out from the opening. Master Yun's butler loudly demands to let his master into the house. It is not proper for a simple worker to behave this way towards masters. The young man, whom the old man so impudently demands to meet, places his hand on his servant's shoulder. The butler flies to the side, and the young man apologizes for his stupid grandfather. Their work requires silence. Master Wu smiles at the guy's understanding and, showing cordiality, invites his guests into the house. Li Yun inspects the modest home of the blacksmith manager. It seems that for this worker, earning money on the side is the only option. The owner of the house offers the young man a cup of tea. He apologizes that he cannot accept the young man properly. Our hero does not pay attention to this and, as a sign of goodwill and their first meeting, offers the blacksmith a gift, a bag of gold. Master Wu is greatly frightened by such generosity. He understands that gentlemen do not give gifts just like that. And what is needed from him? The old man falls to his knees and asks for forgiveness for not being able to help the young master. All blacksmiths are owned by the warrior hall. Li Yun calms his interlocutor. There is no need to break the law at all. It is enough to record in the accounting book the death of several blacksmiths. The old master understands what we are talking about. If the blacksmiths died, then no one will look for them. The owner of the house throws up his hands. He cannot help the young head of the Li clan. After all, there may be an investigation. The butler of the Li family, seeing that his master is not succeeding, is about to leave. But Li Yun stops his servant. The conversation isn't over yet. Suddenly a child in worn, shabby clothes runs into the room and calls for his father. All the people move to another room, where an old sick woman is lying on the bed. She looks bad. Master Wu is very worried. A slight smile appears on our hero's face. It looks like the guy came on time and he will have a chance to get what he wants. The young man is trying to calm the poor girl down. He strokes the child's head and says kind words. Li Yun says he will send his doctor to their house. And that the manager should not worry about gratitude. The young man will do it just like that. Manor Master Li tells his servant that they are about to leave. The butler is inspired by the owner's intelligence and insight. Master Wu looks thoughtfully at the empty doorway. Perhaps Li Yun is really the right person to collaborate with. Seeing a bag of gold in Li Si's hands, the head of the Li clan is upset by the stupidity of his subordinate. The butler thought there was nothing to pay for. Our hero leaves the gold to the poor blacksmith manager. The guy understands exactly how to negotiate to get what he wants. The master and servant leave the house of the old Master Wu and return to their estate along a dark, deserted road. It's time to rest. The very next morning, Li Si comes to his master with important news. Our hero pulls himself up, trying to wake up quickly. In the hands of the butler is a list of the 10 best blacksmiths with their families. In the morning, the blacksmith manager sent this paper to the Li family estate. Both people are very happy with how things are going for their clan. Their joint efforts are beginning to bear fruit. Meanwhile, the elders gathered at the estate of the Green Robe clan to discuss important pressing issues. The spies managed to find out that the murder of the brothel owner and the disappearance of 10 blacksmiths from the warriors' hall were the work of the Li family. The head of the Gu clan is angry. He made the mistake of trusting the young guy. Now the young man's family is gaining power, and the Green Robe's family lost a lot of money in the auction. Martial arts masters gather in the courtyard of the Gu estate. The Li clan must be struck before it can harm those gathered. The head of the clan, confident of his imminent victory, orders the others to follow him. The men in green suits are powerful enough to destroy the impudent family. Smashing the door to the Li Yun estate with his fists, the head of the Gu clan, eyes red with anger, looks for the young master to kill him. The elder of the Green Robes stops the blind gentleman. The masters of the ancient Gu clan watch as a crowd of people gathers in the palace courtyard. The soldiers in green suits are very surprised and do not understand what is happening here. And the most influential people from all over the continent gathered at the estate. They sit at tables and seem to be waiting for something. The owner of the court, young Master Li, appears and with a smile invites the newcomers to take their places. The head of the Gu clan is dumbfounded by what is happening. Nobody invited his family, and he ended up here by accident. Our hero fakes a smile. Was it really that the invitation to the head of the Gu family was not delivered? Apparently some error occurred. The young man scolds two of his subordinates for not inviting such an important guest as the ruler of the green robes. After this, Li Yun respectfully bows his head to the old master and asks him for forgiveness for his people. The rest of the arriving guests cannot contain their curiosity. They ask the young man to finally tell why everyone was invited here. Our hero shows people his account book. Everyone's eyes light up with greed. The Li family managed to earn 150,000 taels in one day. The young man brags about how just one establishment brings such a profit. What will happen when there are several such enterprises? The head of the Gu clan, understanding what the young man is leading to, asks Master Li to voice his proposal to those present. Li Yun is ready to teach anyone how to successfully conduct business for a modest amount. This investment will quickly pay off. For example, the Gu family could pay him a minimum of 30,000 taels a year, and the Li family would train him to run a successful business. The other guests agree that this is a good idea. It makes sense to invest in the knowledge and skills to run successful businesses. The owner of the green robes angrily exclaims his objection. He understands that the young man wants to deceive him somehow, but he still doesn't know how. The head of the Gu clan convincingly explains to the rest of the people that this is a scam. That the Li family will only get richer while the guests compete with each other and lose money. Our hero smiles calmly. The stupid old man, unknowingly, again helps him achieve the desired result. The young master makes a new proposal. You can give management of brothels and casinos to the Li family, and he, in turn, will pay dividends to all investors once a year. Those around him are even more happy about this offer. There is no competition and you can earn money without doing anything. Li Yun asks the old master in the green suit about his objections. But the head of the Gu clan has nothing to say. That's why he gets angry. Hands poured in from all sides with checks from people who wanted to invest in a profitable enterprise. The greenhouse master is at a loss. It seems that with his own hands he helped another clan gain a complete monopoly on the gaming business. The young man with a satisfied smile on his face approaches the head of the Gu family. For such an important guest the guy has a special offer. Li Yun, with undisguised pleasure, allows the Gu clan to enter this business with a minimum investment of 1 million taels. The old master has nothing to say. He leaves the estate offended. After all, his family had no cash left after the auction. Meanwhile, the young man sits down at the table with the guests. He has another interesting news for those arriving. The guests are annoyed and surprised. Does such an interesting proposal really have any pitfalls? And they will have to abandon the idea of making money on dividends. But our hero is completely different news. Everyone knows that there are 9 levels of cultivation in the living soul realm. And Li Yun is the master of all souls of the 10th level. The young man asks his butler to close the door to the courtyard. No prying eyes should see what will happen here now. The young master invites his hired fighter Wu to train with him. There is a smile on the guy's face. He is confident in his abilities. But Master Hua, another warrior working for the Li family, intervenes in the conversation. She wants her master to fight her. Our hero is surprised by such a request. Is the girl really afraid that her colleague might accidentally injure their master? The red-haired beauty begins to make excuses. She did not want to offend her owner or doubt his strength and courage. Li Yun stops the flow of flattering words addressed to him and invites the fighter to fight. The girl concentrates her magical powers and strikes first with her fist towards the enemy. The young master easily dodges a direct blow. He is collected and concentrated. The young master also gathers his will into a fist and swings for his attack. Master Hua is ready and preparing to counterattack in response. Their fists meet, releasing a fireball around them along with a shock wave of enormous force. None of the fighters rejects his hand. The crowd of spectators watching this was very surprised. People cannot understand how an ordinary soul can withstand a fight with a holy soul. The warrior girl is glad that she did not harm Li Yun. But she doesn't understand why a person with an insignificant level of simple soul can withstand a ton of blows. Our hero is pleased with himself. And although he himself doesn't know how this is possible, all the guests saw that he really has the 10th level. A crowd of guests gather in front of the young head of the Li clan and express their admiration for him. Now they will not only cooperate, but also respect the young warrior. After some time, the young man trains hard in his yard. By loading huge weights onto the barbell, the guy overcomes new levels of his capabilities. A confused Hua warrior approaches our hero. She is not surprised that the master has such a high combat level. He trains so hard every day. Young people stand opposite each other. The girl is grateful to the man for his work and generous pay. But she wonders why Master Li is pushing his family so hard. The owner of the estate calmly tells Master Hua that the foundation of the continent is not money, but combat power. Whoever has it, people will follow. The young guy is inspired. In the future, he plans to hold a warrior championship to select the best fighters for his family. The next day, Li Si's butler beats the gong, calling people together to make an important announcement. The old man announces to the crowd that the Li clan is holding a championship among fighters, and the top 100 will be able to get a job. And the best fighter will take home 500,000 taels. Our hero interrupts his servant and, so that there are no misunderstandings, adds that the championship is organized not for hiring, but for the people themselves. So that warriors can learn from each other. The young master invites everyone who wants to take part to the registration desk. An inspired crowd rushed to fill out registration documents. The continent's warriors are very excited about the opportunities that are opening up. After these events, Li Yun stands at the door of an unknown girl. She smiles and greets the young man like an old friend. Walking into the house, the young man sits down in a chair, and the hostess herself cooks something strange in her pot. Our hero is slightly puzzled. Will his plan work as it should? And the beauty takes the solution from the bowl with her finger and brings it to the young man's face. The young maiden calms the guest. The decoction she made will change the color of the master's skin, and even sweat will not change this effect. The mistress of the house begins to rub the solution into the stunned face of the master. This disguise should help him. Having finished with the face, the girl laughs at the master's embarrassment. Apparently he is worried that he will remain like this forever. The beauty begins to undress our hero, explaining that a hot bath can wash off the new skin color at any moment. But the young man has no time for this anymore. A beautiful girl undresses him. Having laid the guy on the bed, the charming beauty rubs the solution all over Li Yun's body. Our hero is satisfied with the result. Having completely changed clothes, the master and head of the Li clan confidently heads to the registration desk for the Continental Fighters Championship. Some time later, in the courtyard of the Li clan's palace, Master Wu announces the rules of the championship to the gathered crowd. Over 3 days, each fighter must win 10 battles to advance to the semi-finals. Our hero, having registered under a false name, decides to look around. He is glad that in such a short period of time his competitions brought together so many warriors. On the stage, the 9th level master of the ordinary soul, Jan Sanli, is self-confidently ranting. He warns the fighters not to interfere with him. Another master appears on the stage. This short man boldly challenges the arrogant fighter. Master Jan summons his fighting spirit, a huge red bull, and accepts the challenge. Without thinking for a long time and without allowing his opponent to come to his senses, the warrior in a red vest sends his bull to attack. The creature's powerful blow to the fighter's chest knocks a bunch of blood out of the man's mouth. There is surprise on the warrior's face. He didn't even have time to do anything. The animal's powerful golden horns pierced the master's soft chest like a hot knife pierces butter. The fight did not last long. The crowd discusses what happened. It's good that every fighter signs a waiver of liability in case of death. Otherwise, the organizers would have had a hard time. Our hero is disappointed. Yes, the fighter is really strong. But he is too cruel. Such a person cannot be given an important position. The winner, seeing the dissatisfied face of our master, steps on his hand. The man challenges Mr. Lee. The young owner of the estate calmly but contemptuously asks the fighter to remove his foot from his hand. As long as the young man remains patient. But the overconfident fool instead puts his foot on our hero's other hand. The impudent Jan Sonli makes fun of the young master. The man with the spirit of the bull again invites the warrior to get up on stage and show what he can do. Suddenly, in the place where Li Yun had just stood, only dust and a pile of crushed stones remained. The young master appears on stage. He says he accepts the challenge. It's time to teach the impudent man a lesson. The man summons his fighting spirit of the Red Bull, and, as in the previous fight, he immediately rushes into battle, not allowing his opponent to come to his senses. Our hero calmly takes a defensive stance. There is a smile on his face. The young man is not at all worried. Jan Sonli is a little surprised that the enemy does not summon his fighting spirit. Nevertheless, he rushes into a swift attack. A boy with black skin easily dodges the blow without using any additional force to do this. The angry master in the red shirt gets even more excited like a bull. After all, he has a whole 9th level and he trained for so long. The fighter's fists meet in a counter blow. The strength of men is equal. And although Master Jan trained for a long time, he did not train too hard. Young Li Yun smiles. He doesn't seem to put much effort into the fight. Everything is clear with this fighter. It's time to finish. The young man sharply strikes with such force that his opponent flies far back. The defeated fighter lies behind the stage, unable to even move. He shouldn't have been so confident. A man standing on stage receives a standing ovation from enthusiastic spectators. His victory was undoubtedly brilliant. 3 young men approach our hero. It looks like these are real warriors, and not stupid novice masters. Young people respectfully greet the winner. They invite Li Yun to dine with them. The young winner happily agrees to the flattering offer. This is a good opportunity to get closer to real warriors. Gathered around the table, the fighters drink while talking about everyday life. The guys did not imagine that the master of a simple soul would be able to defeat the arrogant Jan Sonli. On the other hand, an inspired person reasons that if a simple soul does not strive for a saint, then there will be no development at all. Our hero is glad that he met these guys, but he doesn't have much time. The conversation should be taken in a different direction. After thinking about it, Li Yun asks his new friends what they think about working for the Li family. There seems to be a good salary there. One of the foremen timidly replies that it's not a matter of salary. There are simply too many people who want to work for the Li family. It is unlikely that fighters of a simple soul will be able to get there. The young guy is very pleased with these answers. He promises his friends to give recommendations to the head of the clan. The warriors rejoice at such news. They offer a drink to a good meeting and a profitable business. Mr. Jan appears in the doorway. He heard that simple soul-level masters had gathered here and was angry that he was not invited. The man in the red jacket also wants to become a fighter of the Li clan. To which the rest of the warriors are embarrassed. Their conversation was overheard. The arrogant fighter laughs at the stupidity of other people. After all, the Li and Gu families are at enmity. And the head of the Gu clan is at the 8th level of the Holy Soul. This feud can be dangerous for young people. Our hero's new friends think about Jan Sonli's words. And our hero is angry at the unexpected interference in the conversation. The three people sincerely apologize to Ho Xian for the interesting proposal. But they need to think. Li Yun was left alone. He sits sadly at the table and thinks about what happened. His three new friends leave the establishment. But one of the fighters lags behind the others. The young man returns to the tavern and asks for forgiveness from Master Ho, hoping for his recommendations. The warrior still wants to get into the Li clan. Our hero is very happy. Such a person can be trusted. The young man promises his new friend that the Li family will think highly of him. Some time later, Master Li Yun sneaks into Jan Sonli's house at night. The man was acting strange today, and the guy decides to follow him. It seems that the arrogant fighter has woken up. Hiding under the table, the gentleman, whose name is now Ho Xian, watches what happens next. A man in a red sweater quickly gets ready and runs out into the street in the middle of the night. It looks strange. Having followed the arrogant warrior, our hero notices a strange rendezvous. Hidden around the corner, the young man watches the conversation between two people. The hooded man abruptly pushes Master Jan away. It seems that after today's loss, this man has become useless to unknown people. Mr. Sonli is trying to justify himself. After all, he still made it into the top 100 fighters. And it can still be beneficial. The man in the red jacket declares that he brought 50 of the best fighters to the common cause of the conspirators. And they will be able to deprive the Li family of all their money. The man in the hood does not believe the words of Mr. January. He is angry because there are no fighters nearby. But the blue-headed master is ready to give all the information, but only to their leader. Both men leave the alley. And Li Yun continues to follow them. Presenting himself before the boss, Jan Sonli shows a list of 50 fighters ready to join them. There are even 2 Holy Soul warriors there. Our hero hides behind the wall and watches what is happening. It's good that the meeting is taking place in one of his establishments. The event host is very happy about this list. He is ready to pay the fighter the remaining amount promised. The man in the red jacket thanks the leader and says that the Li family is recruiting fighters into their service. And even with the level of a simple soul, they are given a decent salary. The man in the chair is very pleased. He is ready to give a prize to the young master for the information received. Jan Sonli runs out of the room in joy. The head of this gang carefully studies the list received. He still has a lot of things to do. And Li Yun carefully writes down the names on a piece of paper. Our hero is thinking about how best to punish these fools. The young man comes up with a great idea. We need to make them qualify for the finals. Let them try to defeat him there. Some time later, in the dead of night, a lonely girl sleeps peacefully in her bed. Our hero wakes up the lady. The beauty wonders who broke into her house in the middle of the night. The girl rises, covering her naked body with one light blanket. Who could dare to disturb her at such a late hour? The beauty recognizes the young man who recently had her own camouflage ointment applied to his entire body. Li Yun hands the list to the young maiden. He asks to take it to his palace and give the leaflet to the Li family warriors. The young mistress calms down, realizing that no one is going to harm her. She agrees to fulfill the guy's request. The next day, already on the stage of the ring, Master Wu reads out the list of first partners. Hu Lin will fight our hero. The fighter is a little perplexed why he was so unlucky. The first fight and immediately a strong opponent. There's nothing you can do. Master Hu needs victory, otherwise his mission will fail. Both warriors are ready for a fight. Mr. Li Yun is the first to take a fighting stance. He can't wait to finish with this conspirator. Our hero dodges the first attack from his opponent. It is clear that this is not easy for the scoundrel. Continuing his series of punches, Master Li throws the young master aside. The enemy can barely stand on his feet. Moving further away, the man realizes that he won't be able to win so easily. We'll have to use magic. The young master's rival concentrates to summon his fighting spirit. It seems he has much more strength than Li Yun thought. Hu Lin summons his animal companion. This is a black-winged hawk. Nobody expected such a turn. The crowd is very surprised. After all, this is the level of a holy soul. Mr. Li will now have a hard time. Master Wu is perplexed how such a strong warrior got into the competition. Now his master needs to try hard to win. Meanwhile, Master Hu makes a jump towards our hero. The scoundrel is confident in himself, because his opponent is only at the level of a simple soul. Ho Xian dodges the dangerous move. An instant and the owner of the holy soul flies to the side. Without losing the initiative, the young man grabs the dangerous fighter by the arms and throws him off the stage. Hu Lin flies headfirst. A little more and he will be defeated in this fight. But his face is distorted not by fear, but by surprise. Suddenly, a magical creature grabs the great master by the leg and prevents him from falling. The mighty hawk lifts his master aloft. Such a strong warrior cannot be dealt with so easily. Master Hu appears on stage again. Well, that was a good trick. But now Li Yun will experience all the power of the Holy Soul. Our hero understands that his opponent wants to use the most dangerous technique in his arsenal. The young man is collected and ready for battle. The owner of a strong bird uses the hawk claw technique, strengthening his hands with the power of his animal companion. Ho Xian punches a dangerous enemy. Their hands meet in a powerful blow. But none of the masters is inferior to their opponent. Hu Lin smiles calmly. He is sure that the owner of a simple soul will still not be able to cope with him. But Li Yun, on the contrary, is very tense. He needs to win the fight without calling out his fighting spirit. A powerful blow is heard and throws both fighters in different directions. It is not yet clear who will win. Ho Xian is assembled. He still didn't release his animal companion. Our hero urgently needs to come up with something. Hu Lin lands on both feet. He didn't expect that a simple soul master would have non-human strength. The crowd rejoices and rejoices. No one has ever seen a simple soul be able to overcome a saint. Li Yun becomes the favorite in the fight. Mr. Hu gets angry at people shouting. The fight is not over yet. The master warns the crowd to shut up. Well, you'll have to use all your strength. The great warrior concentrates and calls upon all his magic. Hu Lin has a slight smile on his face. The warrior fires a swarm of magical arrows at his opponent. The head of the Li clan manages to dodge, but the opponent's deadly weapon is very fast. Without giving a break and taking advantage of the moment, the great master who uses the technique of fast fists. The young man, struck by dozens of powerful blows, falls onto the stage. Competing with a holy soul is truly a difficult task. Beaten and tired, our hero barely gets to his feet. It's hard for him to stand. But it's too early to give up. Hu Lin summons his hawk and throws it at his nearly defeated opponent. The master is pleased with himself. After all, the battle is almost won. A dangerous bird of prey hits Li Yun's brain with its magical beak. The guy simply doesn't have the strength to resist the inevitable. A man from the crowd of spectators clutches his head. This is a lethal move. And its outcome is inevitable death. But our hero is still standing. It seems that the steel beak cannot penetrate the warrior's magical defense. Master Hu is dumbfounded. It is impossible for a simple soul to withstand this reception. He looks directly at his opponent. The Monkey King appears behind Master Li. The Saint Soul Master had completely forgotten that our hero had not yet summoned his fighting spirit. The young man, who withstood the fatal blow, and his magical companion loom over the stunned fighter. Now the outcome of the battle is obvious. Li Yun grabs the hapless gentleman to end the fight. And Hu Lin himself screams in hysterics, calling on the organizers to end the battle. He gives up. But our master does not even think of letting this man go. Mr. Li finishes off the fighter with a series of powerful blows. Master Hu's defeated body lies motionless on the stage. Nago didn't have a chance. Ho Xian celebrates his complete victory in a difficult battle. The crowd cheers and praises the young man. Our master's new friend happily hugs Master Li. The young man is very glad that his comrade did not die. The happy warrior invites the head of the Li family to celebrate this difficult victory. The guy simply cannot contain his emotions. Our hero stops his new friend. This is not the time for celebrations. It is necessary to train. The young man was completely imbued with respect for the winner of the fight. Such perseverance deserves only praise. The rest of the fighters also pay tribute to Master Li Yun. He becomes a role model among many warriors. Finally, the disguised guy can rest and sleep peacefully. All work for today is completed. Someone knocked on his room, and sleepy Master Li opens a small doorway. This is our young man's new friend. The guy is very scared. The man suggests running. Li Yun takes the night visitor by the hand and offers to show him what such a terrible thing happened there. Fear appears on the young man's face. The killers are already here. It is Hu Lin who wants revenge. And he brought with him 50 of the best warriors from the championship. Realizing that our hero cannot escape, the man offers to risk his life and distract the attackers on himself. But young Master Li looks at his friend completely calmly. There is nothing to be afraid of. He would still have to deal with those people. Our hero takes the blade from the frightened boy. Li Yun trained all last night and is now in good shape. The head of the Li family also learned a new technique. Now he can't wait to fight someone. The young master throws a bag of aromatic tea to his friend and asks him to wait until he finishes with the attackers. The person is simply dumbfounded by such carelessness. Drink tea of rock, his friend might die. Who is this master? Hu Lin smiles while lying on the stretcher. He is holding in his hands a settlement check for a bonus to the one who will be the first to kill his offender. Suddenly, A fast-flying blade tears the paper in the hands of the defeated warrior. Ho Xian jumps out of the open doors. There is a smile on his face. He is collected and ready for the fight. Angered by the daring trick, Master Hu orders his soldiers to kill the impudent young man. A crowd of warriors rushed forward, drawing their bladed weapons as they went. It seems that our hero has no chance of winning. The first to enter the fray is the Master of the Holy Soul, the strongest of the people who arrived. The old fighter immediately summons his fighting spirit, a huge snake. The master is pleased with the effect produced and looks forward to a quick victory. Young Li Yun is amazed at this turn of events. A huge boa constrictor opens its mouth to attack. He is very dangerous. Our hero concentrates his magical energy. It's time to use the new technique that the gentleman learned last night. The snake attacks, trying to swallow the young man. But he encounters a powerful magic sphere that blocks the young man from him. A strong magical shock wave hits the snake. He falls to the ground. Blood flows from a huge mouth. Ho Xian does not give the old fighter time and jumps at the master with a blade in his hands. The owner of the Holy Soul does not have time to dodge the deadly attack. The old man is lying on the ground, unconscious, as is his animal companion. But it's too early to relax. The fight is not over yet. The rest of the warriors, drawing their knives, engage in mortal combat with one single person. The young head of the Li clan grabs the boa constrictor's tail with both hands. It seems that the gentleman is planning to use the magical creature as a weapon. Ho Xian spins the kite and scatters all the attackers with it. The magic boa constrictor was very angry at the impudence of this young man. No one is allowed to treat an animal like that. The fighting spirit begins to strangle its enemy. This is the most powerful technique in the magical serpent's arsenal. Hu Lin is genuinely happy as he lies on his stretcher. A little more and he will be avenged. A moment later, our hero, freed, sits on the ground. Next to him is a boa constrictor. All you had to do was press a certain point, and the creature lost consciousness. Master Hu's face contorted with fear. Now only he and his abuser remained. Our hero calmly looms over the frightened man. It was Hu Lin's turn to answer for his betrayal.
If you have watched up to this point, then I am very grateful to you, because this is where the video ends. If it's not difficult for you, then like this video and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to continue this story, then write in the comments. Thank you all, I love you all.